I'm James Donaldson, candidate for Seattle City Council. I am a longtime Seattle resident, over 30 years now, of giving back to our community and really trying to make a difference. A small business owner who's had the privilege of doing business here in the city of Seattle, of creating jobs, of employing from the neighborhoods, of creating and providing wonderful professional services that we have been able to do through our small business. I'm also very involved in our community with our young people especially, serving as a positive male role model for a lot of our young boys and girls out there that need to see positivity in their life. Serving as a mentor and giving back to young people through reading programs and writing programs and tutoring programs, of helping our young people understand that education is cool. Staying in school is cool. And so I am your candidate for Seattle City Council. I'm a person of many different dimensions and interests. I've always been that way, growing up as a child in Sacramento, California, and actually as a child of an Air Force military officer in England, where I was born. I've developed a variety of interests throughout the years. I was a professional athlete for 20 years, 14 years in the NBA, and also 6 years overseas in Europe. Played in Spain, Greece, Italy, along with the Harlem Globetrotters, which was a fantastic experience for me. I've been an entrepreneur and a small business owner for over 20 years now with the Donaldson Clinic, which is a physical therapy and sports rehabilitation clinic here in the northern parts of Seattle, Washington. I've had a tremendous amount of community involvement and interest over the years, giving back to underserved and underprivileged communities and neighbors, making sure that they can have a lot of professional services via our business that we have, but also showing that there are a lot of positive role models out there for the young people to emulate and want to strive to be like. So James Donaldson is someone who has all those many different interests and dimensions, and I continue to grow. I continue to develop new interests all the time. I have a thirst for knowledge. I have a thirst for giving back and helping those also, just as people ahead of me have helped me out tremendously. Leadership is essential for being successful. I've been privileged to play with some of the greatest coaches the NBA has ever seen. And they were all terrific leaders, and along with being terrific coaches and people. I started out with Lenny Wilkins with the Seattle Supersonics, who taught us how to be professionals. He didn't do a lot of screaming and shouting and trying to motivate us through that kind of way, but he did a lot of motivating through teaching and through having an expectation that you knew the roles and responsibilities that you were to perform once you got into the game. I've had other coaches who were fiery and just really on your case all the time. Dick Motta with the Dallas Mavericks, George Raveling, my old coach back at Washington State University, and also Pat Riley with the New York Knicks. Coaches that would just push you to limits that you didn't feel that you personally had inside of you, but they knew you did. They knew if they kept pushing you and challenging you, you would respond to the challenge. Leadership is really about creating a vision and an inspiring mission for your team. To look down the road way before the rest of your team can see it and charge towards those goals that you've created as a team. Leadership is about hanging in there many times when you feel like you're all alone. The old saying says it's lonely at the top, and that is so true because leaders have to make tough decisions. Leaders have to sometimes let their friends and families go by the wayside and get other people in there who can perform the job and get the task done. But leaders, the good ones, are ones that can improve the quality of their teams and to maximize the potential that lies within that team. Leaders are people who can take teams to a greater height, go through tremendous challenges and battles, and emerge outside on the other side victorious. Or when you don't quite end up in the victory ring, you have lessons that you've learned that you can apply to life and to the next time around. Be a leader. Step up to the challenge. We all have the ability to lead, but it's about digging deep inside of you and saying, hey, I can do this, and I can inspire others to follow. I serve on numerous boards and committees around the city of Seattle as we all put our heads together on a regional basis of trying to help make Seattle continue to be the leader in the region as far as creating jobs and economic growth. We want to promote Seattle as a world-class city that it is, inviting relationships from all around the world to come here and do business, and for us likewise to do business in their cities. We want Seattle to be a safe place, a place where tourists can come off the cruise ships down at the pier, and also through the waterfront, and through our wonderful parks and our zoos. Being safe and being a place where we can have a lot of social activities, culturally, the arts, sports. We've got it all here in Seattle. As your candidate for Seattle City Council, I will do my absolute best to work on all those things that we've talked about, but also with all the leaders already in place. Thank you very much. James Donaldson for Seattle City Council.